Hey everyone, I'm James. So, I'm just your average 22-year-old college student trying to balance classes and a grueling retail job. But that's not even the tough part. The real challenge is waiting for me at home. I have this younger sister, Emma, who's basically mom's favorite. She's perfect in their eyes, while I'm just the guy who takes out the trash. James, why can't you be more like your sister? Mom always says. Dad tries to keep things calm, but it's like putting a band-aid on a bullet wound. I remember when we were kids, Emma broke mom's favorite vase. Guess who got blamed? James. You should have been watching her, Mom yelled. Dad tried to intervene, saying, accidents happen, but it was too late. That's how it's always been. Emma messes up, and I pay for it. Fast forward to now. I'm working hard on my business degree, dreaming of starting my own company someday. Emma? She's all about being an influencer, selfies, sponsorships, the whole deal. My best buddy, Alex, is the only one who understands. We're grabbing coffee between classes when I vent about the latest family drama. Dude, your mom needs to wake up and see the favoritism, Alex says, shaking his head. I sigh and agree. Tell me about it. But in her eyes, Emma can do no wrong. Speaking of wrong, dinner that night was a real shocker. Emma dropped this bombshell. Mom, Dad, I'm dropping out of college to be a full-time influencer. I nearly choked on my meatloaf. Dad's fork dropped, but Mom looked thrilled. Oh, sweetie, that's wonderful. You'll be so successful. I couldn't help myself. Are you kidding me? She's throwing away her education. Mom shot me a look that could curdle milk. James, don't be jealous. Emma knows what she wants. Dad tried to be the voice of reason. Emma, are you sure about this? A degree is valuable, but Emma kept going on about followers and brand deals. Mom was eating it up while Dad looked like he'd aged 10 years in 10 minutes. Later that night, I went to the kitchen for a snack and overheard them arguing. She's making a huge mistake, Dad's stressed voice said. You need to support her dreams. Mom shot back. And what about James's dreams? When do they matter? There was a pause, and then Mom's voice, icy cold, said, James will be fine. He always is. I stood in the dark hallway, my appetite gone. Yeah, I'll be fine. I always am. But at what cost? Little did I know, this was just the beginning. The real storm was about to hit, and when it did, everything would change. Finals week was brutal. I'd been pulling all-nighters, drinking coffee like it was air, but the real headache awaited me at home. Emma's influencer dreams weren't exactly taking off. Every day brought a new crisis. Mom, I need a new ring light. My content is suffering, and Mom would do whatever it took to make it happen. Meanwhile, I was scraping together money for textbooks. One night, I was cramming for my economics final when Mom burst in. James, when are you going to get serious about your future? She demanded. I looked up, confused. What do you mean? I'm studying right now, she scoffed. I mean a real career, like Emma's. I can't believe what I'm hearing. Emma's posting selfies, and you're getting a degree. Don't be jealous of your sister's ambition, she added before I could respond. Then Emma stormed in. James, where's my blue sweater? I know you took it. I didn't touch your stuff, I said, but she was already tearing through my closet. I grabbed her arm and said, get out of my room. Mom jumped in, pushing us apart. James, how dare you manhandle your sister? It turned into chaos with everyone yelling, and then, suddenly, Dad was there, clutching his chest. The next few hours were a blur, hospital corridors, beeping machines, and words like stress-induced and warning signs floated around. With Dad in the hospital, things at home went from bad to worse. It felt like the last thread holding us together had snapped. A few days later, after a grueling exam, I dragged myself home, just wanting to collapse into bed, but when I opened my door, I froze. My room was empty, well, not empty, but all my stuff was gone, replaced by ring lights, a backdrop, and a bunch of tech I didn't recognize. I'm standing there, stunned, when Mom shows up. Oh good, you're home, we need to talk. Talk? Mom, where's all my stuff? She looks annoyed. In the garage. James, your sister needs this space for her career. Her career? You mean her Instagram photos? You're always on my case about my degree. Don't be dramatic. Emma needs our support right now. Her career is at a critical stage. I laugh, but there's no humor in it. Mom, wake up. She's not a celebrity, she's just a kid with a phone. Emma chooses this moment to appear, smirking. Thanks for the upgrade, Mom, this lighting is perfect. Perfect. Something inside me snaps. You've got to be kidding me. I'm working my butt off in school, And you're kicking me out for her Instagram photos? Mom's face turns hard. That's enough, James. If you can't support this family and your sister's dreams, maybe you should find somewhere else to live. The words hit me like a punch. I look from Mom's stern face to Emma's smug one and suddenly can't breathe. Fine, I manage to choke out. I'm out of here. I grab what I can carry and storm out, dialing my phone as I go. Alex, hey man, I need a huge favor. Can I crash at your place for a bit? While I wait for Alex to pick me up, sitting on the curb with the remnants of my life, reality starts to sink in. My own mother just kicked me out for an Instagram account. I always knew I wasn't the favorite, but this was a whole new level of betrayal. As Alex's car pulls up, I make a silent promise to myself. I'm done being the family's punching bag. It's time to start looking out for number one. The next few weeks were tough. Sleeping on Alex's couch, I was juggling classes, my job, and trying to find a place I could afford. Sleep became a luxury I couldn't afford. Dude, you look like death warmed over, Alex said one morning. I groaned, chugging my third coffee. Yeah, well, homelessness will do that to you. Strangely enough, my grades started improving. Maybe it was spite, or maybe the absence of Mom's constant criticism actually helped. Either way, I landed an internship at a local tech startup. Meanwhile, Emma's influencer career suddenly took off. Her follower count skyrocketed overnight. That's weird, Alex said, scrolling through her profile. I shrugged. Maybe she bought followers or something. Alex's cousin Jake, who works in digital marketing, overheard us. Mind if I take a look? He asked, grabbing Alex's phone. His eyebrows shot up. Oh yeah, this is definitely bot activity. And these sponsorships, something's fishy. My stomach churned. Part of me wasn't surprised, but still, it was unsettling. That night, my phone rang. It was Dad. James, son, I'm sorry about everything. Your mother, he trailed off. I cut him off. It's fine, Dad, how are you feeling? He sighed. Not great, James, your mother and I are talking about separation. The news hit me hard. Dad, I'm so sorry, it's not your fault. I just feel powerless to change any of this, he said. After we hung up, I couldn't shake the feeling that Emma's fraud was doing more damage than just to her followers. It was tearing our family apart. The next day, I called Jake over to Alex's place. So, hypothetically, I started, if someone wanted to expose influencer fraud, how would they do it? Jake's eyes lit up. Oh man, where do I start? There are ways to track bot activity and cross-reference sponsored posts with FTC guidelines. As Jake explained, a plan started forming in my mind. I could gather evidence anonymously, tip off sponsors and followers, and Emma would be exposed, but not directly by me. I don't know, man, Alex said when I shared my idea. Isn't this going too far? I hesitated. Was it too much? But then I thought about Dad in the hospital, Mom kicking me out, and our family falling apart. No, I said finally, she needs to face real consequences for once. We spent the next week gathering evidence, fake purchases, inflated engagement numbers, undisclosed sponsorships. Emma's entire career was built on lies. I compiled everything into an anonymous email ready to send to her top sponsors. I paused, wondering if I was really ready for the fallout. But then I remembered Mom's words, if you can't support this family and your sister's dreams, maybe you should find somewhere else to live. Well, Mom, I thought, clicking send, I found somewhere else to live, and now I'm living my own dreams. As the email whooshed away, I felt a mix of dread and relief. The die was cast. Now we waited for the house of cards to fall. It didn't take long. Within days of sending those anonymous tips, Emma's carefully crafted world began to crumble. I was grabbing coffee with Alex when his phone buzzed. Dude, check this out, he said, sliding the phone over. On the screen was Emma's latest post, flooded with comments calling her out. Sponsors were publicly cutting ties left and right. Guess your plan worked, Alex muttered, looking uncomfortable. I felt a twinge of guilt but pushed it aside. She did this to herself. Things snowballed quickly. A tech blog picked up the story and turned it into a viral expose on influencer fraud. Emma's follower count plummeted as fast as it had risen. Then came the real gut punch. Dad called, sounding more stressed than ever. Your mother lost her job, he said, his voice tight. The company's downsizing, and with Emma's situation, we're in real trouble, James. I wanted to feel bad, I really did, but all I could think was, karma's a real piece of work, isn't it? A week later, my phone rang. It was Mom. I almost didn't answer, but curiosity got the better of me. James, honey, I know things have been difficult, but we need your help, please. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. My help? Now you need my help? We're facing eviction. James, your internship, surely you could spare something. That was the last straw. Are you kidding me? You kicked me out and now you want my money? James, please, we're family, Mom said. I laughed, but there was no humor in it. Family? When you gave away my room? When you always took Emma's side? I don't understand why you're being so cruel. I cut her off. I know about Emma's fraud. Mom, the bots, the fake sponsorships, all of it. The silence on the other end was deafening. You did this? Her voice was barely a whisper. No, Mom, Emma did this. You did this. I just stopped covering for you. I hung up, my hands shaking. It was done. No turning back now. The next few weeks were a blur. Dad finally left, unable to handle the toxic environment anymore. He crashed on my couch for a bit before finding his own place. Emma was blacklisted from every major social platform and couldn't even land a job at the local mall. Her reputation was ruined. Meanwhile, I threw myself into my internship. The irony wasn't lost on me. After all those years of Mom criticizing my lack of ambition, I was the one with a stable future now. One day, my boss called me into his office. I braced for bad news, but instead he said, James, we'd like to offer you a full-time position after graduation. Your work has been exceptional. I couldn't believe it. All the struggle, all the doubt, it was finally paying off. As I packed up my tiny apartment and prepared to move to the big city for my new job, I reflected on everything that had happened. I'd lost my family, but I'd found my strength. I'd been betrayed, but I'd learned the value of real friendship and integrity. Alex helped me load the last box into my car. You sure about this, man? Cutting ties completely? I nodded. Yeah, I'm sure. Think of the unopened messages from Mom, the social media posts from Emma playing the victim. It's time for a fresh start. As I drove away, watching my hometown shrink in the rearview mirror, I felt a weight lift off my shoulders. The road ahead was uncertain, but for the first time in my life, it was mine to choose. Family isn't always blood, I realized. Sometimes it's the people who stand by you when everyone else walks away, and sometimes, the best family is the one you build for yourself. That's the end of James's journey from family scapegoat to self-made success. Now, here's a thought-provoking question for you. Was James justified in exposing Emma's fraudulent practices? Or did he go too far in seeking revenge against his family? Where's the line between justice and vindictiveness when dealing with toxic family members? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your perspective could help others grappling with difficult family situations. If this story resonated with you, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more complex family dramas and moral dilemmas. Your support keeps these thought-provoking stories coming. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.